over here! Where? What's the matter, huh? Can't stand the sight of your own blood? Looks like we're eating tonight. Mom, it's Candace. Oh my God, it's really happening. I can see the cloud. It's so big. Mom, I'm so scared. I'm heading to the vault now. I'll do whatever I can to get inside. My number for the passcode was 7, right?
Just need to pull this hunk of metal out of the ground. Careful. What?
Disaster today. One of our test subjects, V920717, was murdered. 3 other residents in a fit of unbridled rage, the likes of which I've never seen. It took almost 23 shots before the security team took him down. This subject has no history of violence or mental.
Call a doctor, we got a bleeder!
mister. What you think you're doing in the Republic of Dave? This is the Republic of Dave. Duh. It's named for President Daddy. But you have to talk to him if you want to stay here. Okay, I'll take you. But President Daddy doesn't always like new people. Okay, come with me. Come on, I have to take you to Daddy.
I've got nothing to say to you, stranger.
Dave doesn't like us talking to strangers.
Tamper with
President
that,
Daddy,
and we're going
there's
to
a
have
wastelander who wishes to see you, sir. Hey there, are you gonna play Republic with us?
Dave doesn't like us talking to strangers. That election is getting pretty close, huh?
I can't believe it's only a couple of days away.
I am Dave, President of the Republic of Dave. You will address me as Mr. President, or I will have you executed. Now, are you applying for citizenship, asylum, or just vacationing in the Republic of Dave? That's just what I would expect to hear from another spy from the wasteland. You have 1 hour to leave the Republic of Dave or be executed.
Man, the Brahmin smell awful today.
President Daddy, there's a wastelander who wishes to see you, sir.
I am Dave, President of the Republic of Dave. You will address me as Mr. President, or I will have you executed. Now, are you applying for citizenship, asylum, or just vacationing in the Republic of Dave? You are? Excellent. It's good to see that the Wasteland has finally recognized the sovereign Republic of Dave. If the people of the Wasteland are generous and respectful, I might deign to annex them. There's an election for the next president. Don't look so surprised. Can't you see this is a republic? Well then, there you go. An election is what separates a president like myself from a monarch like my father. My father inherited his political power from birth and renamed this great nation the Kingdom of Tom. Although I also inherited my political power from my father when I took over, I formed a republic so the people may elect their leader. All right, sure, why not? The people have a tendency to wait until the last minute to vote, but I'd like just to get it over with. I'll spare a few caps if you just tell each of the adults to get over to the voting booth sometime today, so I cinch the victory. Not that I have anything to worry about. The people know who their leader is in this republic. The Department of Tourism usually handles all questions for outsiders. Make it quick. That's right. As president, I am head of the Department of Tourist Rights, the Office of Immigrant Affairs, and the Bureau of Dave-like Activities. My proudest duty, second to the presidency, is Commander-in-Chief of the Army of Dave, the most ruthless military in the wasteland. Years ago, I freed these poor people from the wrath of Tom, former monarch of the Kingdom of Tom. Afterwards, the people naturally elected me as their president, and the Republic of Dave was formed. Well, the Republic of Dave is the only true sovereign nation in the wasteland, the only really civilized place left in the world. One day, all wastelanders will be citizens in the Republic and know the greatness of their president. Well, good for you then. The election is still going on. What do you want to know? That would be Bob, Shauna, Jessica, Rosie, and myself. In the Republic, if you're old enough to carry a weapon, you're old enough to vote. Rosie and Jessica are usually here in the capital. Bob usually hangs out outside near the Brahmin pen. Shauna runs the Museum of Dave, so you can find her there. Nobody except me. Why would the people need anyone else but Dave? I give them all that they ask for. Anything else? Of course I voted. I was the first to vote. Now I'm just waiting for the rest of the votes to come in. Very well.
I heard that Dave allowed you to stay. Well, welcome, stranger. Just be mindful of the children. Sure, honey, but don't make it too long or Dave will start wondering why we're talking. Dave is a good man. He looks after all the children and makes sure they have plenty to do. He's bought a lot of toys, not that he'd admit it. He has our Shauna teach classes to the younger ones. She's over at the Museum of Dave to the west of the Republic. Not much to say, really. I'm Dave's wife, or first wife, I guess. I've lived here for many years now. Well, yes. Dave and I were married when he was wandering the wasteland, before inheriting the Republic from his father, Tom. After Ralph was born, Dave said that the President of the Republic needed to repopulate the wasteland. So, now we have a second wife. We have plenty of food and water here, and the compound is fairly safe. I'm glad the children can be raised here, away from the wasteland. I'd like to see more trading done with the local caravans, but Dave's afraid their outside influence could weaken the Republic. Sure, honey. Election time is always exciting around here. Only Dave. He's the only person who ever runs. I don't think you can do that. You'd better ask Dave. Believe it or not, I used to lead a group bigger than this one on an old caravan route. I did it for years, and we did pretty well for ourselves. But what am I talking about? Running against Dave would be like betraying him. You're right. Dave's just been pushing me around. It's time for a change. You're right. I'll go right now.
Out with it, Ambassador. This republic isn't going to run itself. The election is still going on. What do you want to know? I'm sorry, but the president must be a citizen of the republic to run for office. So you do not qualify.
Fingers crossed. Tamper with that, and we're going to have a problem. Man, the Brahmin smell awful today.
Yes? What is it? Come on, I don't have all day. Shauna runs the museum, not me. What the hell do you want? Yes, he does, and they're both pains in my ass. Always got to keep them in line or else they get all teary. Dave made me second commander of the Army of Dave. And that means I get a gun. Don't make me have to use it. All you need to know is that I'm second in command next to Dave, so don't bother me. And don't talk to Rosie or Jessica either. Those are Dave's wives, and they have work they need to do. Dave is in charge. When he's not around, I'm in charge. If you want anything else, Go to the Museum of Dave on the left side of the compound. Oh, great. Oh, yeah? What about it? So I've heard. She couldn't possibly think that she'd be better than Dave. Did Dave say you could do that? Man, I'd love to be the president. Everybody would have to listen to me, or I could just exile them to the wasteland. And the first thing I'd do is make myself the permanent leader so they couldn't vote me out in some other election. But there's no need for me to run. One year, Dave is just going to make me the leader, just like my grandpa Tom did for him. Yeah? Well, it just so happens that I like being number 2 around here. So I think I'll just stay right where I am. Fine. I'll get out of the way.
Let's get class started.
But I already know everything about...
So, Dave gave you the okay, huh? Well, welcome then. I run the Museum of Dave, where the children of the Republic can learn about their heritage. Sure, the Museum of Dave is happy to answer any questions on behalf of the Republic of Dave's Office of Tourism. Dave revised the restrictive marriage laws of the Kingdom of Tom shortly after the Republic was formed. Multiple marriages is now considered one of the great free freedoms of the Republic of Dave. President Dave is the savior of the wasteland, bringing peace and order to the savages man has brought upon himself. If you would like to learn more, please stop by the Museum of Dave's official tour at 2 p.m. Me? I just run the museum and teach classes to the little ones. You know, truth, justice, and the will of Dave. The Republic of Dave offers a rich history rivaling that of the great nations before the war. How very Dave-like. Me? I'm not sure if I can help you. Absolutely not. In fact, I'd vote for Dave twice if I could. Did you ask Dave if that's okay? Anything else? Oh, yes. Everything here is from Dave's adventures in the wasteland before he founded the Republic. I give a tour every day starting around 2 p.m. You should stop by then. I'd never really thought about that before. Why do you ask? Oh, wonderful. I'd be happy to accept your contribution on behalf of the Republic. And Dave just increased the budget for the museum this year, too. I was going to buy books for the children, but this is far more important. Great. What do you have? Oh no. Dave sent you to tell me that, didn't he? I'll go right away, I promise.
A wastelander, like in the stories about Dave. Have you heard about Dave, mister?
You're almost as big as Dave.
Are you really from the wasteland? Wow! President Daddy says the people from outside the Republic are bad.
President Daddy says that people from outside the Republic are bad.
Ah, Dave,
I suppose
lead our
voting
Republic
for
to
Dave
glory.
is the patriotic thing to do. Hello.
Yes? What can President Dave do for you? The election is still going on. What do you want to know? Jessica hasn't voted yet? And... Very well.
Dave says you're okay? Fine. You should talk to Dave, but okay. First wife. Rosie is the second wife, since she's the oldest and not good for anything anymore. That's President Dave to you, Wastelander. Call him by his full name, or we'll shoot you. He takes care of all of us. Even that selfish Rosie and her brats. My children will be a lot nicer than hers. All I have to say is Dave is my husband. Mine. Do you understand? I don't care what Rosie has to say about it. Just because Rosie used to be this big leader out in the wasteland, she thinks she's better than me. She even ordered Dave around once. Dave is a great leader. He's going to bring civilization back to the wasteland. One day, they'll say it all started here. Okay. I'll help you if I can. Poor girl doesn't stand much of a chance, does she? I don't think you can do that. You'd better ask Dave. No way. You'd have to be crazy to run against him. Anything else? I guess you're right. I'll go right now.
Yes? What can President Dave do for you? The election is still going on. What do you want to know? An opponent? Seriously? But, wait. No, this is a free republic. Let the people make their choice. I am confident that they will recognize me as their true and proper leader. I told you before, I'll spare a few caps if you just tell each of the adults to get over to the voting booth sometime today. There's Jessica, Rosie, Bob, and Shauna. I already voted.
All done. Dave's the best.
Yes? What can President Dave do for you? The election is still going on. What do you want to know? Good. The votes are in. If you'll excuse me, I'll be getting started on tallying the numbers. Oh yes, I almost forgot. Here's your caps. Keep this up, and I may deign to make you a citizen in a few years.
You have
Why
my
don't you
vote,
look where
Mr.
you're
President.
going? I can't believe it's only a couple of days away.
Man, the Brahmins smell awful today.
Let's see what we have here. A vote for me, and another vote for me. A vote for Rosie. After counting the votes, the president is... Well, despite the hiccup, it looks like I am still declared the winner. Yes? What can President Dave do for you? Very well.
So, I'll just get started on the tour of the museum then. To my far right is the baby carriage that... Something you need? Did Dave win it again? I voted for him, you know. Come back and visit the museum anytime.
Hi there.
Yes? What is it? Come on, I don't have all day. Dave won it, I'm sure. Just don't...
Hi.
What's your problem?
Hey,
Hello. Bye.
Dave says you're okay? Fine. Did Dave win it again? I voted for him. You're safe as long as Dave says so.
Hey there. Yes? What can... Very well.
I heard that Dave allowed you to stay. Well, welcome, stranger. Just be mindful of the children. I didn't win it, huh? Well, there'll always be other elections. Goodbye. Take care of yourself. I heard that Dave allowed you to stay. Well, welcome, stranger. Just be mindful of the Dave! Dave!
Ha!
Hi there, honey. Have you spoken to Dave?
Man, the Brahmins smell awful today.
Hi.